6 months ago, I had no clue on how futures algo trading worked, and honestly, I thought it was way out of my league. But now I've built a 6-month track record that's not only made 12.07% of profits, it's getting more and more reliable every single month. So I'm going to show you the real steps I took from clueless to confident and how you can follow the exact same path. Imagine trading is like swimming. In order to effectively swim and not drown, you can't just master one part of your body. You can't just wave one arm around and expect to swim effectively, swimming with just random actions. So you do need to master the first arm movement. And after that, you still need to master the other arm, and then your legs, and then your breathing. Only once you've mastered all 5 components, then you can be an effective swimmer and rise above the water. In trading, the water is everyone else in the world trading, including hedge funds. So in order to be profitable, you need to master 5 different components, which are building your strategy right, testing it, understanding the platform that you're trading, how to build up an effective portfolio, and the underlying assets and their behavior. So when I started this futures trading journey, I am not a complete beginner in algorithmic trading. I already know how to build, test, platform, portfolio, and Forex. But if I need to learn futures, I want to minimize the amount of learning that I have to do. Do I need to learn how to build a strategy on futures? No, my process is pretty down pat. I know how to test it. I understand how to build portfolios. Futures, that is definitely something I will need to master. But platform? So most people who are trading futures trade on NinjaTrader, MultiCharts, or TradeStation. And I don't know any of those platforms. And I want to minimize the amount of learning. Otherwise, I'm going to drown in the sea of competition. So I found out that you can trade a MetaTrader futures on the Darwinex platform. This is great because I only need to learn about futures. I don't need to learn a new platform or anything else. I am keeping my learning to a minimal so I can be able to swim above the waves when I try this brand new experiment. I went to my very good friend ChatGPT, hopefully who will not kill me in the future, and over the course of a couple of hours, ChatGPT told me that futures compared to Forex algorithmic trading, I have to be aware that contracts expire, which I have to admit is one of the main reasons I have not traded futures in the past. It seemed like such a hassle, but it's something I do need to understand if I'm going to trade futures. So contracts, they expire every 3 months, so you do have to keep an eye on it. The minimum lot size is very different. So in Forex, you can trade 0.01 lots, and you can trade with like $200,000 account. But in futures, the minimum lots is 1 lot. So you do need a lot more money to trade futures. How much more? Well, if we take Darwinex 0 as an example, if you were to open a Forex CFD account, then you would get a 100K account. But in futures, you get a $1 million account. So pretty big differences between Forex and futures. And the one thing I really loved was that there was no swaps in futures, which is a huge advantage for futures. Swaps takes up so much in terms of fees, and especially because I am a swing trader, I like to hold my trades over a few days. I'm not a day trader where I'm trying to enter and exit within 5 minutes. I find there's too much noise in the lower time frames. And lastly, I asked ChatGPT, hey, I'm starting out in futures. What should I trade? What are the best beginner assets to trade? And it gave me a handful of starting assets. I already have a strategy development process for my Forex algo trading days that consists of build, out of sample, Monte Carlo, more robustness testing, and finally a whole bunch of robots. So I took the exact same workflow. I didn't modify it in any way. All I had to do was instead change the asset and the swaps and the spreads and the commissions. That's it. The rest of the process was exactly the same. These are all the assets I ended up starting with. You can see I've got a whole bunch of Forex pairs. The 6A to S are all Forex, and you've got ES, GC, which is gold, the NASDAQ, and YM, which I think is another index. And the underscore H and underscore M, that is the different contracts. So when I first started, they were all H's, and then they went over to M a quarter later. So 6E is still one type of assets, just the underscore M and underscore H represents a different contract. Since I had no experience with trading futures at all, I just went and traded the minimum lot size of one lot for all my strategies. And here is the first few months of my trading. Each squiggly line here is one strategy. And you can see some of the squiggly lines are really, really big. So remember, this is a $1 million account. And here, this huge profit jump is about 30K, from 30K to 60K. So trading on gold, I saw 30K profit, which is about a 3% increase, which is massive. Like 3% on one strategy is way too much risk. And this is just trading the smallest lot size. And then you can't even see it down here. There are a whole bunch of tiny, tiny squiggly lines, and they are all the Forex pairs. So this is the first few months of my trading with futures. Notice here that I'm not making any decisions based on a week of trading or even a month of trading. I am waiting multiple months before I am going in to do the analysis on this account. And because I kind of forgot about this experiment, I made my very first mistake, which was the contract expiry. So futures contracts expire about every quarter or so, and I totally forgot about that. There was a week where gold was not trading, and I just doing my thing. I came back and I was getting a whole bunch of errors in my account because it was trying to trade, but because the futures was closed to new trades, there was no trades at all for a week. So I learned my lesson. Now I've got the expiry dates of the assets I'm trading written down in my calendar. So I do have to be aware of when a future contract expires. Fast forward to a month afterwards, and where you can see a whole bunch of brand new squiggly lines at the bottom, because now I am trying to fine tune my portfolio. I added a whole bunch of more Forex pairs, and then even though I saw that gold was making a lot of profits, I decided to keep it in because it was making a lot of profits and doing really well. However, I saw that this trade right here that ended up being a loser, this is 3.5%, $35,000 in losses for this one trade, which is a massive, massive amount, even on a $1 million account. And unfortunately, that was just gold. All my smaller trades trading Forex, I can't scale them up. The maximum lot size on my broker on Darwin-X0 is 20 lots. And even trading at the biggest lot size, even having 5 or 6 different strategies, the maximum profit I can make based on my time frame was about 2,000. So massive discrepancy between 30,000 for gold and $2,000 for Forex. And because of this massive discrepancy, my account took a pretty big hit right about here. All the small wins that I'm making in these smaller strategies, they didn't really make much of an impact because those amounts were so small. After this huge loss on gold, I did take it out of my strategies. So now going forward, I'm no longer trading gold. However, notice this one tiny, tiny dot here. So this is, again, $35,000 profit on NASDAQ. And even though this was profitable, I didn't like how huge it was in relation to my portfolio because, again, with Forex, the maximum profits I can make is $2,000. And the one NASDAQ trade can have too much of an impact on my trading. I prefer to have each strategy making about 0.5% on my account, and this one was too much of an outlier. Even though it was profitable, I have now taken, for now, NASDAQ off my portfolio. Here is the list of trades that I've got. You can see the symbols starting with 6, they're Forex pairs, and even though I'm trading really big size for them, I'm trading 10, 11, 14 size, the profits and losses is between 2,000 to 4,000, whereas down below, trading the smallest lot size on NASDAQ, which is currently highlighted, is 35,000. So again, such huge discrepancies in the lot sizes and the amounts of profits I'm seeing on my account. So this is the equity curve of my futures account on DarwinX. The first few months up to about mid-March was my experimental phase, where I'm just trading one lot on all the different assets. You can see huge jumps in profits and losses. And then from about mid-March, April-ish, I decided to remove the outliers. I removed gold, I removed NASDAQ, and you can see slowly, even though the bumps are much smaller now because of the DarwinX risk engine, which significantly reduced after my huge losses during the March-April period. Now it is much more stable and it is slowly increasing in a pretty smooth way. I did consider resetting my account because then I won't have this huge learning area here where you can see huge jumps in equity and huge jumps downwards as well. If I start it here, or even if I go and head and restart it now, then my equity chart would be much smoother, but I decided to keep it. Even though it looks a little bit uncomfortable here, because it is an accurate reflection of my journey as a futures trader. By the way, if you're signing up to DarwinX Zero, you can get a really good discount by using the code Lisa. So learning futures wasn't actually too bad because I had picked a platform that I was already familiar with. I managed to minimize the learning curve. I already had a build, test, and portfolio process. The only thing I needed to learn was futures. And what did I learn about futures compared to Forex? Well, basically, the biggest difference was data. So futures data is so much cleaner than Forex data. With Forex data, every single broker you go to, because it's CFDs, every single broker is different. So you're going to get different backtest results across everybody. But with futures data, it goes back much further and it is clean. It is centralized. Like, oh my goodness, having clean data makes a huge difference in terms of making it so much easier to backtest. And I didn't buy futures data. All I did is I went into Strategy Quant and there's a button up the top that says get futures data. I click on it and it just downloads futures data for me. Clean, simple, so easy. And the fact that there is no swaps is a huge, this reduces so much fees that I'm paying currently on Forex CFDs. And because there are no swaps, I saw a significant shift in the number of profitable strategies, because on CFDs, UJ by far is the most profitable, but in futures, it expands to a lot more. I found strategies on major currency pairs I have never been able to create on in the Forex CFDs because of the huge reduction in the fees. The strategy development process I used to create the future strategies was exactly the same. I used the same build, out of sample, Monte Carlo, robustness tests to produce robots that are actually more profitable on the futures platform. I didn't create my futures strategies manually or code them line by line. I used a special software called Strategy Quant. So watch this video right here where I show you how I mastered Strategy Quant in just 7 days.